Okay, let's take a look at this piece of goodness now. South African writer and director Noxolo Bhengu will showcase a play titled Pink Tax at the Market Theatre from this Wednesday after a successful run in China where she resides. The play delves into the harrowing reality of human trafficking by pulling back the curtain on the dark underbelly of modern-day slavery. She joins us now to tell us a little bit more about the production and what you as the audience can expect. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Duduzile.
Let's start with why the issue of human trafficking. Was this informed by a personal experience?
It wasn't informed by a personal experience, but it was informed by the environment in which I exist in my home, South Africa. South Africa is on Tier 2 on the watch list for human trafficking, which means that the most extreme forms of human trafficking, the number of victims is either significantly increasing or it's significantly high. So this is very unsettling to me. As an artist, as a creator, as a storyteller who likes to reflect the kind of society we lived in, it was a very important story to tell. I have sisters, I have nieces, myself, children, anybody, should not be a victim to this human rights violation.
What does Tier 2 mean?
Tier 2 means you are basically, think of like a red zone. We are extremely vulnerable to being trafficked. 50% of the population in South Africa is extremely vulnerable.
And you spoke of extreme forms of human trafficking. What are those?
I would like to think sex trafficking, because sex trafficking is the most common type that is identified and reported. And of course, I don't want to minimize the other kinds of, trafficking. It's just that that's the one that is quite up there. And then there's labor trafficking, which is underreported but quite prevalent, that is happening recently, I think, post-COVID. Yes.
And let's get into the production and what it is that you mainly want to the audience member rather to walk away with.
Yeah. Before they walk away with anything, I want the audience members to sit in the theatre and ask themselves, is this okay? Is this healthy? Is this safe? Is this the country that I want to exist in? And then take that back into our communities and ask ourselves, what am I doing? Because we are all equipped with different skills. We are all in different industries. I'm not in the law enforcement. I'm not an expert in counter-human trafficking field, but I'm an artist. And this is my efforts, of playing my role. Yes.
Where do we begin to have those conversations in our societies, right? So yesterday I was walking home and there was a gentleman who ran after and was wanting to talk. And I said, no, thank you, Budam. And he was like, yo, we are calm. You hear that a lot. And I was taken aback, but I thought maybe that's an opportunity to engage this person and ask him, what do you mean? He self could not articulate what uyakoma means.
Yes.
It's like, I just merely want to talk to you. And I said, I don't want to talk to you. Does that mean that you're going to hurt me? Does that mean you're going to kill me?
Yes.
And so where do we begin to have these conversations? Fortunately for this particular gentleman, or with this particular gentleman, he wasn't aggressive beyond just words.
I think it begins with awareness, because awareness really can prevent, or reduce the rate of trafficking. Most people who are trafficked are people who are impoverished. So traffickers look at people's economic vulnerability. Everybody wants jobs. Unemployment is rife in the country. So just educating people about knowing how to vet jobs, starting there. Because, somebody can sell me a great idea when it comes to the kind of job I'll be stepping into, or educational opportunities. Just awareness can do so much for us. And then we need to ask ourselves, how can we help the next person who would benefit from the skills that I can, empower them with? So awareness and just really coming together as a community and uplifting and building each other to eradicate poverty, to eradicate unemployment, to increase education, awareness, and intervention.
So there's the old school harassment, and then you find the new school in the form of social media, where young people are exposed to so much. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know where this person is, but you've already given an address, or you're going to meet at the mall on the weekend, and your parents don't even know. And so the relationship between parents and children, what would your advice be to parents,
Yeah, to have hard conversations and not to hold back on difficult things. I grew up in an environment in a community where we don't really speak about things that are uncomfortable. Let's speak about those uncomfortable things, because Duduzile, you'll be very surprised that it's usually people that you trust, your neighbors, your friends, people who know what kind of situations you are in. They prey on that. So it's just also like parents need to make their children aware of that do not trust people easily. Question. Don't stop questioning. Get second, third opinions. If somebody says, I'm taking you to Europe, okay, where in Europe? What's the country's name? Give me the street address. There's an organization called A21, and they have a national human trafficking hotline. We can actually call them, and they'll verify addresses, they'll verify phone numbers. So that, also awareness and education about what is available to us in terms of job vetting. Yeah.
What about the pressure that more so young people are under? Because again, on social media, you see Noxolo is living the life and you don't know where she works, but you're thinking, you're even me.
Yes. If you don't have something, you don't have it. Right. Ayika. But we also need to be socially responsible when it comes to social media and being real. I know social media isn't real, it's curated. You put up on social media what you want people to perceive of you. But also as a person, just think about, like, if somebody is posting a picture of traveling to Dubai this weekend and then America next weekend and then France the following weekend, is that possible every weekend? Just like really take a step back from that made-up world and, try to exist more in your own space and sample the inspiration and think, how can I aspire to what I want, not what Duduzile has or what Noxolo has. Yeah, we also need to just be more honest on social media, be more vulnerable, more real, more raw.
Sample the inspiration. I like that. Okay, let's get into the play in terms of who will be on stage and what we can expect.
Yes, so we have 4 phenomenal actors. Thandeka Shangase, Sane Kumete, Epopunyane, and Kidibone Mokopane, who have been so brave with their bodies and their voices in taking on these stories. They're not performing, they are living these experiences. And, often during the process, we have to debrief. We have to be very conscious about stepping out of the characters, opening up the windows, saying goodbye to Rosa, Waridi, Batate, all of the characters. And as an effort of being a responsible storyteller and a creator, I've collaborated with the Department of Social Development so that we can have social workers on site every night, so that if any audience member is triggered, they can have psychosocial services available for them every single night. So these actors, I remind them every day that you are empowering so many voices, you are empowering and humanizing so many stories. And during our research process, we recognize that some of these actors actually know people who've gone through, some of these things that we talk about on stage. So the play is very beautiful. It moves a lot. There's images, the visuals, but the actors, they stay in the same place. They never leave, but the story journeys into different places and voices. And a lot of it is relatable, and some of it is dreamy and quite poetic.
You sound like a deliberate person, because when you speak of even when you are rehearsing, you're opening the windows and you're letting those characters go, and you've got social development on site, even for the audience. Where do you go to fill your cup?
That is such an important question. I'll be honest. During this process, I'm doing a very poor job in filling my cup, but I go to music, I go to theater, I go to watch other people's work that makes me feel good. Despite the subject matter, I fill my cup by painting, pottery, having meaningful and beautiful conversations like the ones that we are having right now. This is filling up my cup as we speak.
Magwandi. Thank
you so much.
Thank you very much. Noxolo Bhengu, writer and director. Just details, when, how much, etc.
Yes, it's going to be at the Market Theatre from the 18th until the 22nd of October. You can get your tickets at Web Tickets, and tickets are 100 Rand. We're also running a paid-forward campaign where friends from different countries who can't make the play but support it have been donating tickets. So you just have to email me. It's a very beautiful gesture. Email theatrelude@gmail.com if you know someone or you yourself, you cannot afford the ticket.
That email address again?
theaterlud, LWUD, @gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Duduzile. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Noxolo Bhengu, you too. Writer and director of Pink Tax.